Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here again today. If I sound a little off, I'm getting over a head cold that my daughter graciously shared with me. So please excuse me if my voice sounds funny or if I look a little bit off. It's also like 10 o'clock at night and I'm trying to talk a little bit quiet because my daughter's room is on this side and my husband is going to sleep on this side. I do not want to babble too much because my throat is really dry and I'm having to talk really quietly. So let me go ahead and, like I said, let me stop rambling and let me just jump into the video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Amber. On this channel, we talk about fragrance and everything fragrance related. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you, then please consider subscribing. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. So today I will be reviewing two more fragrances from Dossier. Dossier is a fragrance clone house, dupe house, inspired by house, whatever you want to call it. And everybody has very differing opinions on whether or not they support clone fragrances. I mentioned this in another video. For me personally, I don't have a problem with it. Number one, as long as people are very much upfront that the fragrance is inspired by an existing fragrance, because we have to give credit where credit is due. We have to give the perfumer credit. We have to give the company that's backing the fragrance and financing the fragrance credit. We have to give everyone who was part of the creation process credit. We can't just piggyback on top of their success. But if you are honest about the fact that you are making copies of fragrances, then to me, that's not a problem. And also, if the price is right, also, I personally treat it like a giant sample. So if I'm looking to consider purchasing a niche fragrance or a designer fragrance at a high, especially at a high price point, I'm going to look at houses with a good reputation, such as Dossier, to see if I can try it, especially at a 50 ml bottle for a reasonable price, before I go ahead and blind buy or pay a ridiculous amount of money for a tiny decant of that particular fragrance. So in my experience with Dossier, I've tried probably 8 to 10 different fragrances from Dossier so far. And I would say that almost all of them come 80 to 90% close of the fragrances that they're replicating. So I would say it's pretty safe, in my opinion and in my experience, to say that if you're happy with a Dossier fragrance, odds are you're going to be super happy with the original when it comes time for you to purchase those fragrances. So if you are just starting a fragrance collection, if you are on a tight budget, totally understand. I think something like Dossier would be a great place to start. You kind of get to dabble in lots of different fragrances. You get a good amount of juice. You get 50 ml. And so I feel like that's more than enough time to spend with a fragrance to decide how you feel about it. And then when it comes time to purchase the full size of the original, there's no guilt, right? Because we've all had buyer's remorse when it comes to fragrances. Let's just be honest. I'm an avid blind buyer and it has come back to bite me more than a few times. So that is my little soapbox about fragrance clones and copies and dupes and whatever else you want to call it. But this is not a sponsored video in the sense that I am receiving zero revenue from this review. These fragrances were sent to me in exchange for my opinions and my opinions only. And that's it. I'm not making any money off of this video. And so I just want to be super honest with you guys about that. I will have a link down below. I do not get commission from that link. It just offers you guys a little bit of a discount. So that will be in the description box if you choose to purchase any of the Dossier fragrances. So with that, they have graciously sent me 2 more fragrances to review for you guys because they're having an amazing sale right now. The deals are spectacular year round. So honestly, you can't go wrong no matter what time you choose to purchase. So the 2 that I will be reviewing are here. You've seen the packaging a million times on YouTube at this point. It's the box here. The fragrance sits inside there. Also, they provide free returns. It's 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you do not like the fragrance for any reason, you can send it back for a full refund. I think that is amazing customer service. You also get cards that tell you what the fragrance is inspired by. You also get the concentration level, which I did not notice before. So I think that is really, really cool. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is called Ambery Tuberose. And this is inspired by Diptyque's Dossier. And this is the eau de parfum concentration. My camera's not focusing, but the notes are listed for you here. Again, 50 ml, 1.7 fluid ounces. So you can definitely fly with this. You can travel with this, which is awesome. So top notes in this one are orange blossom and rose. Middle notes are tuberose and daffodil. Base notes are benzo and musk and orris. This is such an experience to me. First of all, let me also preface this with, I have briefly smelled the original. I have not spent a lot of wear time with it. So what I'm going to do is with each of these fragrances, I'm just going to treat it as its own standalone fragrance. I understand it's inspired by something else, but I don't have the originals with me here. So I'm just going to treat them like their own standalone fragrances. So with Ambery Tuberose, this is such a walk in the park experience. I love how realistic this smells. I feel like it's this gorgeous, rich, realistic, like photorealistic tuberose. And I'm picking up a greenness, like I can almost smell the stems and the leaves. It's a little bit dewy, so it's like just rained on tuberose in a garden. It's such a beautiful experience. I think this is so nicely done. If you do not like white florals, if you don't like tuberose, I would definitely shy away from this one. There is a touch of an ambery facet to it. Although there's orris, it's not overly powdery, it's not overly makeup. All I can say is that this is freshly cut from the garden, dewy tuberose with the stems and the leaves, and it's just this gorgeous big bouquet of fresh flowers. I feel like this could still hold its own in cold weather. I feel like if you live somewhere humid, this would be ideal, aka Houston. Definitely a springtime fragrance, maybe not so much in the summer. Sometimes tuberose and high heat doesn't mix really well because it is a little bit on the powdery side, it's a little on the heady side, but I love the texture of tuberose in a fragrance. It's velvety, it's smooth, it's just delightful. And this is done so delicately and elegantly. This is incredibly elegant. This is timeless. If you love your florals, men or women, highly recommend this one. So photorealistic, fresh tuberose with a little bit of a green touch. That is absolutely gorgeous. Super happy with that one. So that is Ambery Tuberose. The next one that I have to talk about is for sure my favorite of the two. And I think it's because it reminds me a lot of Byredo's Young Rose. So if that one is way out of your price range, I totally understand. This would be a really good alternative. They are not the same, but they definitely sit on the same shelf and they are in the same family for sure. So this is called Woody Peony, and this is an inspired expression of Fleur Narcotique by Ex Nihilo. And I have smelled Ex Nihilo's Fleur Narcotique. This is so good. This is so good. And Ex Nihilo is such an exclusive brand. It's not available everywhere. And I don't know how great they are about offering decants. So this is a great way to try this fragrance. This one is at 18% concentration. So amazing value for what you're getting. So top notes, I'm just going to read it off of the bottle. It's peach, lychee, bergamot, and freesia. Middle notes are jasmine, orange blossom, peony, and white flowers. Base notes are musk, oak, moss, and woods. This is a little bit fruity, but not in a juvenile way. It's mouth-watering, it's refreshing, it's a little bit watery. And I think that's what the lychee is bringing to the table, and the freesia as well. It can have this shower fresh kind of fruity quality to it, It's very, very watery, not aquatic in the sense of ocean and marine life. It's just watery. It's a watery floral, and it's really, really lovely. It's a little transparent. And the major difference is that this doesn't have rose in it. This is more leaning in the white floral direction, whereas Young Rose has rose in it. I think also if you love Delina from Parfum de Marly, I think that you will really love this. It's in the same category. Delina is in a world all its own for sure, but they are in the same family. They are definitely related. Such a lovely wear. This one has a really, really nice sillage to it. This and each of these lasted me, I'd say 6 to 8 hours for sure, depending on how much you spray. They are a little bit lighter, but they have the magnetic caps. Love that. I love the packaging, although sometimes the labels are a little inconsistent, which is a little bit annoying. But again, the fact that you can travel with these, you can fly with these. My favorite so far, I really love the Woody Peony. I love the interpretation of Alien. I love the interpretation of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. Those pack such a huge punch, and it's such a great value for the price. So that is all that I have for you guys this evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I cannot wait to take you on my journey to New York City to be part of Scent Explore. Also, please follow me on Instagram. My handle will be down below as well. And please let me know what fragrances you have tried from Dossier and which fragrances you've really loved and that have worked for you. So I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.